Ever wish there was like a magic button to train AI, especially for something as crazy complex as computer vision?
Yeah.
Turns out this company, AIverse, might be onto something kind of close.
Right.
So today we're diving deep into their whole deal with synthetic data,
Okay.
what it is, why anyone should care, and how it's going to flip the script on AI.
And it's way more than just making life easier for developers, right? This is about solving those big, nasty roadblocks that have been holding AI back.
Yeah, totally.
Especially when we're talking about, like, training computer vision model.
Because they're hungry for data.
It's insane, the amount of data they need to actually learn and be useful.
Yeah.
It's massive. And traditionally, that meant someone had to go out and gather thousands, probably millions, of real-world images. Then someone has to label all of those.
Ugh, can you imagine the time, the cost?
Don't even get me started on the
I mean,
logistics.
don't forget the headaches, especially, well, AIverse seems to be focusing on defense.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Sensitive stuff.
Think about training an AI to, let's say, spot a very specific type of aircraft.
Okay, yeah.
You'd need what? A ton of real-world images of that thing.
Right, from every angle too, probably.
Exactly. And good luck getting those. It'd be like, going through a minefield just to get clearance.
Oh, I bet.
And then the logistics of actually getting the shots, you'd need a specific weather condition, time of day.
You'd practically need to, book a private air show.
Pretty much. It's a nightmare. So that's where AIverse swoops in with their solution.
Okay, so how do they bypass that whole mess?
They've figured out how to design and generate their own image data sets.
So they're making them?
Yeah, but synthetically. It's like having a virtual film studio, but, just for training AI.
I'm intrigued, but
Yeah.
how realistic can these fake images actually be?
That's the cool part.
Can they capture, the little details, the randomness of the real world?
That's where it gets really, really cool, actually. They use this thing called procedural generation.
Okay.
So it's more than just static images. They're actually building 3D models
Oh, wow.
of the objects and even the whole scene.
Wow.
And these models, they can be, manipulated, tweaked with crazy precision, down to the smallest little details.
So we're not talking about just slapping some basic texture on a 3D model and calling it a day.
No. We're talking highly detailed, very customizable replicas.
Okay, so almost like Hollywood CGI level stuff.
In terms of that control and the detail, yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
And then the magic really kicks in when you start messing with the virtual environment itself.
Give me an example.
Okay. Let's say you're training an AI to detect weapons, but in a crowded airport.
Tough scenario.
Right. With synthetic data, you can create a million variations of that.
Oh, wow.
Different angles, lighting, types of luggage, how crowded it is, and never even have to set foot in an airport.
That's wild. It's like a hyper-realistic video game that just pumps out perfect data for your AI.
You got it.
That's incredible.
And the big deal isn't even just the convenience, right? It's making AI development faster, cheaper, more people can actually use it.
More accessible, yeah.
Exactly. And AIverse, they're all about that. They're all about democratizing this tech.
Which is interesting because they were founded when?
Yeah, 2020. Right?
Very recently. So they're a young company trying to break down these barriers that have kept AI development for, the elite few.
That's exactly it. And it speaks to this much bigger trend that's going on right now with synthetic data.
Because everyone's trying to get in on this, right?
Ilya Ostrovsky, a security AI expert over at AIverse,
Okay.
he said the synthetic data market is going to be worth, get this, $5.4 billion by 2025.
That's insane. That's not even growth. That's like an explosion.
Right.
What's driving that kind of demand? It's got to be more than just making AI training easier, right?
Way more to it. The real power here, and what makes AIverse so fascinating to me, is that synthetic data unlocks solutions in places where real-world data is either way too expensive, impossible to even get, or you just don't have enough of it.
Okay, you've definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's unpack some of those advantages, shall we? What are the big wins of going synthetic versus sticking with the real deal? So we're talking about a complete game changer for AI.
Right.
Potentially, yeah.
Huge.
But for those of us who don't speak, fluent algorithm,
right?
Why is synthetic data the big deal here, compared to the real world stuff?
It comes down to, like, actually solving the problems that have been holding AI back, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Let's stick with the defense stuff for a sec, since that's where AI versus, like, really showing off.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine you're trying to train an AI to recognize, I don't know, a camouflage tank
Ooh, tricky.
in a forest, right? Dense forest.
Yeah, good luck getting enough real-world pictures of that to even
Forget about it.
train anything.
It's often literally impossible.
Right.
You can't just, like, airdrop a tank division into the Amazon every time you need to tweak your algorithm.
Yeah. Everybody smile.
Hold that pose.
No.
It's not going to work.
And even if you could, the security risks alone.
Oh my gosh.
Capturing, storing.
Asking for trouble.
Right. You're practically begging for someone to steal your data.
So synthetic data, okay, it takes care of scarcity. It takes care of the security issue, right? What else?
Control. You get to control everything.
Oh, interesting.
With synthetic data, you're not stuck with what you can find.
Right.
You can make the exact scenarios you need,
Okay.
down to the tiniest detail. You need that tank in the Amazon. But it's got to be dawn,
Yeah.
a very specific type of tree.
Yeah.
Light drizzle, done.
Wow.
You need 100,000 variations of that exact scene. But, like the lighting slightly different, a leaf moved,
Oh.
synthetic data doesn't care. It'll make it for you.
That's nuts. It's like a custom-built AI training simulator.
Exactly. For any scenario. But, okay, let's talk about realism here.
Okay.
Can this synthetic data really, truly get close to the real deal?
Right.
Especially for something as, like, demanding as, military tech.
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That everyone wants the answer to. And it seems like AI Verse might have actually cracked it. They've done a bunch of these benchmark studies.
Okay.
They compared models trained on synthetic data versus real-world data. And guess what?
What?
In a lot of cases, the synthetic models did just as well.
No way.
Sometimes even better.
So it's not even a compromise. It's potentially better.
It might.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, it comes down to that control we were talking about.
Yeah.
And customization. With real-world data, you might get noise, bias, stuff creeps in, you know?
Oh, yeah?
But with synthetic data, you control all of it. So your AI is learning from this, like, perfect data set.
Right, right. Okay, so we've got control, we've got realism, potentially even better than the real deal. Anything else? What else you got?
Well, AI-verse keeps talking about these 3 big advantages they've got.
Okay, yeah.
One, which we already talked about, is the whole confidentiality thing.
Right, right. Big in defense.
Huge. Can't have your super secret AI training data just, like, floating around.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that on the subway?
Nope. But with synthetic data, no risk. Second big thing is scalability.
Okay.
With the real world, you're kind of stuck with how much data you can get, right?
Right.
But with synthetic, sky's the limit. You need more. Just make more.
So no more, like, waiting 6 months for someone to label images.
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
means faster development, faster innovation,
Everything's faster.
everything's faster.
Okay, love it. Love it. Confidentiality, scalability. What's number 3?
Realism, we kind of touched on it.
Yeah, yeah.
But these guys, they're not just generating, like, blobs. They're creating simulations.
Okay.
Highly realistic ones. And that's what makes this so cool. It's not just about making AI easier.
Right.
It's about doing stuff that we couldn't do before.
Because we didn't have the data.
Exactly.
Wow. It's obvious that AI verse, they're onto something pretty huge here.
Yeah.
But it's, it's more than just the tech itself.
Right.
They're playing the game smart, too.
Oh, absolutely. They're hustling.
Get the name out there.
They're talking to the right people, going to the right events.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what was it? They were at the AUSA, like, annual thing, right?
The AUSA annual meeting, yep.
Explain that for folks who aren't, deep in the defense tech world.
Yeah, so that's like, if you want to be anybody in defense tech, that's where you go.
Okay.
You're going to meet all the big players, the up-and-comers,
The people with the money.
the people with the problems,
Yeah.
and most importantly, the people with the money.
There you go.
So for AI-verse to be there
Yeah.
means they're serious.
It's a statement.
Big time. They're putting themselves out there,
Okay.
showing they can hang.
And it's not just about, tanks and drones and stuff, right? They joined that, help me out here. La French Tech. Something or other.
La French Tech Côte d'Azur, yeah.
Yeah. My French is awful. I apologize.
No worries, it's a mouthful. But basically, think of it like Silicon Valley, but, French.
Okay, okay. Startups, innovation, all that.
Exactly. It's all about, pushing the boundaries.
So they're making moves in defense, but they're also keeping their options open.
Big time. And that's smart because this tech, it's not just for one industry.
Right, right. I mean, the applications, you could use this for, like, training robots, right?
Oh, totally. Imagine like a robot that has to work in this crazy, dangerous factory, right?
Oh, yeah.
You could simulate all sorts of disasters, accidents.
Without risking a real robot or real person.
Exactly. Or healthcare. Imagine training an AI to like diagnose diseases, but you use synthetic patient data.
So you don't have to deal with all the privacy issues.
Exactly.
That's huge.
It's massive. The possibilities are pretty much. And AI-verse, they get it. They're not just like hoarding this tech.
Right, right.
They're trying to show people what it can do. Like that whole weapon detection thing they're doing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Real world problem, real world solution.
Which I think is why this is so exciting.
Right.
Because it's not just about, like, ones and zeros, right?
No.
It's about making the world better, safer.
Exactly. Making things more efficient, solving problems that we thought were impossible.
Totally. And they're out there talking to people. They went to that security Essen thing too, right?
Yeah, another big one.
Yeah.
All about security tech.
So they're walking the walk. They're not just talking about it.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, there you have it, folks. We dove deep on AI-verse
Deep dive.
and the whole, like, synthetic data revolution that's brewing.
It's going to be big.
And it's way bigger than just one company or one industry. This stuff's going to change the world.
No doubt.
So keep your eyes peeled, stay curious, and we'll catch ya on the next deep dive.